Hey everyone, I had to come in real quick. I was going to record a video, but I thought not. Let's just talk live. So I have just a few things I want to talk about today. Opportunity cost. I am finding that so many people don't realize the how they're paying for things, how they're making these choices that don't allow them to actually that don't allow them to actually experience what they're trying to experience fully, because they're making choices that derail them. So my whole perspective is how people take 3 steps forward just to, because of the fear, because of not knowing what's next, they decide to revert back to their old ways, and then they put themselves all the way back. So that opportunity cost, that potential gain you could have experienced just by feeling into this discomfort, just by being patient and grounding your energy, realizing what it is you're sacrificing for and moving forward. I don't know what this obsession is or this addiction is with staying where we're at, even though we want so much more. We don't want to become better, to have better and experience better. We rather just sit with our fears and our doubt and our frustrations, trying to figure it out, but barely. This comes into another thing. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with people who really hate them. I was trying to date this guy, and he was like obsessing over his ex, who would just speak so disgustingly about him. And it's one thing when someone says something to you about you, especially if they're trying to help you, become better, and they're trying to give you divine correction or whatever, or connection, right? People are obsessed with being abused in this day and age, and I don't know if it's like, oh yes, we all want to have trauma stories, but that shouldn't be a thing. Bonding over trauma shouldn't be something that we seek. Helping others move out of those energies and understand why they react, respond, or try to connect or disconnect to and from others because of how they are positioned in their body. It's something that not many of us are able to do. It's not something that we're consciously aware of, because going back to opportunity cost, people lose out on opportunities because they are unable to really assess and see the situation for what it is. All they can feel really or sense is their trauma, their conditions, their position, their perspective. And that's not enough anymore. Being with people who abuse us just so we have these stories to tell, missing out on opportunities just because it felt like it was threatening us. It's so sad, and there are no excuses. I don't believe in excuses at all in this world. There are conditions and circumstances, but there's always that opportunity cost, and there's always an alternative. There is always an alternative, and it'll be who of us who are self-aware and just who love ourselves enough to not miss out on those opportunities because of patterns and conditions and trauma. I just really wanted to talk about that. Thank you for the people who joined. Thank you so much for your time and attention. But I really had to share that because it's weighing heavy on me. Don't go forward just to put yourself all the way back. Minor setbacks are fine, but not when you're undoing the practice to build a habit. Just love yourself enough. And I know that that's okay, that's a love myself enough, but it's serious and it's real. Not a lot of people love themselves, because look at the state of the world. If more people love themselves, we wouldn't have murderers in the world. We wouldn't have people who act out in such ways that are violent and that are bad and that are threatening. because people would love themselves enough to regard others with the same respect and consideration and whatnot. But opportunity cost, don't miss out because of your fear and you being stuck because of your mold. You are an infinite, wondrous being who can take any shape or form that you desire here. So get out of your mode of conditions and traumas and stop missing out on the opportunities, because that's actually the cost. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to stay the same. And if you haven't lived on your own as an adult man and woman, I feel like that's one of the biggest experiences that you can have that will help you move more into self-love, accountability, and all that good stuff. But yeah, don't be being losers out here, guys. Like, some of us, we don't want to have to be out here like you're not my child. It's okay to safeguard others, but if your parents didn't raise you, raise yourself. You can do it. You can do it. And I know you can, because I shouldn't be the person I am today, but I became this way because I love myself. I truly do. And nothing no one does to me can change my mold. My mold and who I am, what I'm expressing here, is solely based off of me. No experience outside of myself can ever change who I am. I'm the experience. I set the tone. I make the choices. No one in what they do is going to do that for me or to me. And yeah, I'm just wishing everyone well. I've got to go into work here, but I had to share that. I'll be back on posting regularly now because I don't have my energy leaking into a crack. And yeah, so much love for you guys. Blessings and bliss your way. And thank you so much for your time and attention.